Good morning, 788, especially Night's Watch. So this versus week, we're up against Faces of War. Obviously, we know Faces of War has Holy Bell, a whopping 580 million power right now. We've got some intel from them that there's no way they're going to lose this week. And this is still a pretty big week for us. We've got Trading Post Wars this week. We also have Copper Wars starting next week. So it's still important to continue to grow. So I'm about to announce, and this is why I'm making this video, that we're going to do a semi-conserve week. And so what we should think about for a semi-conserve week is, look, we're trying to get our 7.2 million points so we can get our chests open. But we're not looking to consistently push above that and expend all efforts to get above that. So on a day like today, what does that mean? So stamina, you have to use it anyway, right? And it regenerates, it's free. So let's burn stamina. Let's complete radar tasks. You have to complete them anyway. No need to buy new ones or buy extras, but might as well complete the radar tasks. And so when it comes to drone parts, I'll skip that for a sec. Gathering, right? Gathering's free. So put out your people, your squads to gather. Try to get as many points from those, I call it buying the free stuff, as possible. And then we're going to make up the rest of it with the drone parts. So I'll show you an example here. So I have, what is that? 31 more points, 31 more parts that I need to get to level 216. It's not going to be a huge boost in power though. If you look at the drone attributes, the promotions, it's not a giant bump in hit points or attack. It's a minor 22.1 to 22.2% increase in defense. It doesn't really do much for me. So your drone levels, remember, they really only increase in power significantly every 5 levels, full levels, and they really don't increase in power that much at all with these sub levels. So what I would say is, if you are on the cusp of upgrading your drone from, say, 145 to 150 or 135 to 140, 175 to 180, 195 to 200, go for it. If you have enough parts to get it all the way to your next milestone, go for it. Otherwise, this is a good one to save. So like this one, I will even if I get these extra 31 parts today, I'm gonna save this for next week. There's no point in pushing to 216. The increase in power is marginal compared to the number of points that would get us for next week's versus. Same thing with drone chips. So if you are like right on the edge of another drone level combat boost stage, or you are right on the edge of like upgrading one of your skill chips, I don't think I'm close to anything that I need on here. I'm 12 away, 14 away, and I don't have enough. I don't have enough to make. I can make 9. So there's no point in opening up a bunch of skill unless I had 3 choice. If I had 3 choice chips, then I could make 9 of what I want, and then I can get the upgrade. Otherwise, if I'm not gonna be able to upgrade, there's no point in blowing through these. So I'm gonna keep the rest of these, and I'm not gonna open them. Those will be for next week. If we go into, let me see what this is real quick. Okay. If we go into day 2, an example for base expansion, right? If you have a big building you've been upgrading, you want to unwrap a headquarters, you want to unwrap air tank or missile center, something that's going to directly impact your power, then by all means, unwrap it, right? See how many points you get. Otherwise, let's get our points from doing, gold trucks, gold tasks. We can do some construction speed ups, right? But you don't have to unwrap all of your buildings on the same day. Same thing with the recruit survivors, right? I'll probably get all my points just from doing the dispatching and the secret tasks. I might unwrap a couple buildings, and then I have how many survivor tickets? 761. And I don't really need to blow them. I'll probably just save them for the next week. If we go into day 3, so again, you can, if you have some research you're working on that is going to directly impact your power, by all means, unwrap that. Otherwise, we can get a lot of points by doing radar tasks, which you have to do any which are free. And then I would, unless same thing with the drone components, similar to the chips, right? If you come in here to your drone components and you're really close. Now, remember, these really get big power boosts. The biggest power boosts are obviously between the levels. So you go from level 7 to 8, 8 to 9, 9 to 10, you're going to get a big bump in power. You get moderate bumps in power when you get them over 20%. So if you look at mine, I'm probably not going to open a single component chest this week, because the closest one that I have to another milestone is probably just this one, and I have to go 9% to get it to 40. So that's the next like moderate jump you're going to get, is on the 20, 40, 60, 80%. Otherwise, it's not worth it. Might as well just save those for next week. Now, if we're 20 minutes from reset, you're at 6.5 million points and you haven't gotten all your chests yet, yeah, open up a few drone component chests, get your 7.2 million points, not a big deal. But these are really easy things to save for when we do want to push. But if you're on the cusp, if you're close to bumping up to a new component level, go for it. Open it up. Like, let's get that extra power, and let's use it during trade post wars and copper wars. Hero Day is going to be a big one this week. So this week we have Adam's exclusive weapon unlocking. I'm pushing that all the way. I've been saving universal shards for a while now, so that I can try to push him as far as I can as soon as he unlocks. And I also have all these others, so I've got enough to do a lot of Wall of Honor upgrades. You can see how long I've been saving. All of these guys can all go to 5 stars if I needed to. I probably won't use it at all, because I'm going to get so many points just from Adam's exclusive weapon that I probably will not even do any recruitment. So this is an easy one. If you want to push somebody's exclusive weapon, and remember, EWs get their power bumps at level 10, 20, and 30. So there's really no point. If you only have exclusive weapon shards that'll upgrade somebody like 1 or 2 levels, and it's not going to end in 10, 20, or 30, then probably there's no point in using them. You can save them for next week, get your points in other ways. Same thing when it comes to the Wall of Honor, right? Let's go here. This is often misconceived. So you can see, so I'm working on Lucius, getting him up to 50. You see, when you use the shards for your hero, you get a small hit point boost for all your heroes. It's marginal. It's almost not even worth it. Really, it's these levels of 50 up to 200. That's where you're getting your primary boost in power from these Wall of Honor shards. So what I do is I don't actually start investing these shards until I actually can hit the next level. So I have 500 and some odd universals. I could easily hit 50 for Lucius this week if I wanted to. I'm not going to have to, because it's a conserve week. It's not going to make or break Copper Wars. But what I would say is, don't dump all of your hero shards into somebody just to bring them up from 9 to 38. And if you can do that if you need to get to 7.2 million points. I know that typically people don't have a hard time getting 7.2 million points on Hero Day. I would say the value of going from 7.2 million points to 20 million points doesn't matter this week. So just save those shards, wait until a week we have to push, and then we can get a whole bunch of points by going up a lot higher. Remember, once you get to 200, then you have to go 100 at a time to get the same level of buff. So instead of saving up, so for Marshall, for example, I would have to save up, instead of 500 shards, I need to save up 1,000 shards to get him the tank hero defense boost. All right, I hope that makes sense. This is one of those, if you're on the cusp of something that is going to give you a bunch of extra power, go ahead. If you end up with 25 million, 30 million versus points on one day because you unlocked some research that you have been cooking for a while and it gives you a big power bump, go for it. If you drop 50 million points on Hero Day because you have some EWs to upgrade, or you've got, or you just unlocked a headquarters and you want to push your first squad up to the next level, go for it. Like that'll directly help us during Copper and Spice Wars. I don't think anybody should be promoting Sarah this Thursday. So you notice that she is going to be eligible for promotion here. I think we've unlocked her at this point. Yep. So we've got the token. Now all you need to do is have your light on for 336 hours. You see I have less than a day to go. I'll get this hero promotion token. Remember the trick with these. So if I come here to Sarah now, I don't even have her at 5 stars, but I have almost 1,000 shards waiting for her. And then I have another, it's like 600 some odd purple universals. So the day that I do promote her, which will not be this week because we don't need to push this week, and I'm going to get plenty of points from Adam's exclusive weapon. But when we do, remember, the first thing you do on Hero Day before you promote her, when you do decide when we need to, is you promote her as you invest every single shard you can in her. And then you invest every single skill medal you can in her. And then as soon as you promote, then you get all those skill medals back and you get all of those shards back. And then you can reinvest those shards back in her. And then you can distribute the skill medals however you want. And that way you basically get double points for everything you invest in her. That's why I haven't pushed her to 5 stars yet, because I know that on the day that I promote her, this will be, let's see, that's going to be 400 shards that she needs to go to 5 stars. And so that alone is going to be a lot of extra versus points. No need in rushing it. I will say for Sarah, she is very similar to a Marshall. So what she's going to do to you is she's going to boost the damage for your 3 back row units, or I guess more like Mason. She's very similar to Mason. So the way we use Mason with the tank formation for the code boss, you can bump up this particular skill once you get it over, I don't know, say 12 or 15, and probably this one as well. You could swap her in for code boss and get higher damage points with your air squad than you normally do. Obviously this one is completely irrelevant because it code boss doesn't do damage. So I would just focus on these 2 skills right here if you want to get some new milestones with your air squad once she's unlocked. Other than that, hope that makes sense. Hit me up anytime with questions if you are curious how many of something you need until you get the next power unlock. If you are curious, like, hey, is this going to be worth it to, dump this many drone parts in? Feel free to PM me or ask me in Alliance chat. happy to work through the math with you, and I have some calculators that I can run your scenario through to see if it's going to be worth the versus points this week versus saving them for next week.